Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Well, it is finally here, the highly anticipated new X-Men relaunch from Jed MacKay and Ryan Stegman. X-Men #1, From the Ashes, A New Beginning. Lots of stuff I like, some stuff I don't. That's what we're gonna get into it. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and here we go. Okay, so I was, for some reason, super excited about this relaunch. I have to say, I kind of a big part of it for me was this art by Ryan Stegman. Um, Peripherally aware of his art. I've seen some covers and stuff. I don't think I've ever owned like a comic with his interiors. I think he's done some Spider-Man and stuff, but it kind of appeals to me. And I thought, it's a great jumping on point. I'm very excited about the new X-Men 97 cartoon, as you well know if you watch my channel. Enjoyed the hell out of that. So with the fact that Tom Brevoort, who was the Avengers editor for years and years and years, was coming to the X office to do his thing in a brand new direction, new creative teams, launching with new #1s. It seemed like the perfect jumping on point. I haven't collected an X-Men book in a long time regularly. Kind of turned off by the whole like Met Gala, kind of Hellfire Gala, Met Gala, like, I don't know, storyline. Like, it just all seems like a bit much. So I thought, perfect, jumping on point, right? Maybe, I don't know. I have to say, I've never read anything written by writer Jed MacKay. So writer Jed MacKay, penciler Ryan Stegman, inker J.P. Mayer, colorist Marty Gracia, and letterer VC's Clayton Cowles. So the Genosha is no longer, I guess that was like the mutant paradise where they were just like living it up. It was Mutant Island. They were doing thruples. They were whatever, I don't know, just like I said, the Hellfire Gala, I don't know, just like unrecognizable to me as the X-Men. I don't know if I'm the perfect audience for this or not, because I'm very much like a Claremont baby. Like, those are my X-Men. I pretty much read the Claremont run growing up, and then when he left, I read the X-Men sporadically. I did read Grant Morrison's run, that I enjoyed it. Felt very far removed from what we know as the X-Men, as does this. So they're basically in Alaska now. Genosha is no more. The X-Men are displaced across the world, and the world fears and hates them again, and I guess they're still sworn to protect them, if you're taking a page out of Claremont's book, which I always will. So they're in Alaska now. I mean, that seems like a horrible place to set up shop, with the premise of like agriculture and, I forgot, experimenting, I don't know. Anyway, the art, this art is fun and appealing to me. It feels like a hodgepodge of like McFarlane, Capullo, Ethan Van Sciver, who else do I see in here? A little bit of Joe Mad, Trent Canugia, just to throw out a random artist. If you're familiar with his indie book Creed from the 90s, and then when Marvel Knights was by Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti, when they were doing books at Marvel, he did a Ghost Rider series, and he has this like hyper detailed, like inky kind of style. So it's like a hodgepodge of all of that, and I'm not sure if it's the sum of all its parts, or whatever that appropriate saying. But there are a lot of great shots in here. Like, this establishing shot is so cool. I love it. Marty Gracia, a lot of the coloring I love. I love the brightness of it. Some of it is a little too much, and like with these effects, I feel like especially with this detailed art, I would rather have it sing a little bit more on its own. Like, some of this, I feel like he's kind of using this trick, like your eye is supposed to pull it together, and it's really not. Like, it's like this whiteness. It doesn't look like fur to me. I don't know what it looks like, but it looks like a weird pattern that isn't fur. It's giving me more like scales or something. So this local Alaskan cop is dropping by to meet with Cyclops and create, relations or establish relations. And Cyclops ain't home. They're off to rescue Wolverine. So Beast is going to show her around the HQ. And then we have this gorgeous like opening sequence, very cinematic. I love this. The Blackbird, is it still the Blackbird? I hope, or what do they call it? It's the Blackbird, right? Fun lettering, by the way. I'm enjoying this font a lot. But this feels like a double page thread. It feels very cinematic, very like opening sequence to a movie. This feels very much like the dramatis personae that we would get like in an old Claremont book, so that made me happy. With the list of characters. Oh, but I forgot to mention who the list of characters are. So we have Cyclops. So apparently it's a team led by Cyclops, overseen by Magneto, who's now called Max. See, that is like so foreign to me. So Beast is here. I could take or leave Beast, like Cyclops, whatever. I could take him too. Like, he acts so different than I remember him. Magneto, who is Max, we're gonna get into him. Psylocke, she just feels like she's kind of here right now. Kid Omega, Quentin Quire, which I have so many questions. Temper, Magic, and Juggernaut. Not the strongest lineup, if you ask me. They're the old formula going back to Giant Size X-Men #1 and New Teen Titans. Take like some old, some new, and mix them together. I don't know. It's weird to have Juggernaut not on the X-Men. I've never been a fan of that. Some of these shots are really cool, though. Like, I love this page here. Magic. I do love the character of Magic. These feel a little wasted. I feel like they are here to serve sort of the same purpose. And it almost, like, tells on itself by the fact that they're dispatched in the same time on this mission to rescue Wolverine, which took me forever to figure out kind of what's going on. Like, I was a little disappointed in the fact that, like, I thought this was like super fresh start, but it's not super fresh start. I think it's very like beholden on the events that happened, and it's sort of just like, okay, like a continuation. Like, all that was resolved. However, it's all the same characters, continuing plot lines and relationships and things like that. I don't know if this is a new character or if she has been introduced before, but she feels a little bit like a diversity hire with a black female. I mean, like, so we got rid of Storm to the Avengers to put this new character named Temper, and temper could mean a lot of things. Magneto talks about tempering metal in the end. Temper is like your personality. You're either mad or happy, whatever. And she literally is cut in half blue, half orange, so cold and hot. And she's gonna play with the temperatures. I just thought that was like the most generic, basic, stupid character. I don't know. Maybe she'll get developed and she will grow on me. Like, some of these visuals are really cool, though. It feels sort of like in the vein of like Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's X-Men, but not quite on that level. I don't know. Like I said, like, I feel like we're at the point, like, this is years after Claremont's X-Men. I feel like everything has been done. We do have Juggernaut on the team, and that's weird, you know what I mean? But it's like, I feel like at this point, you can almost take, like, they have, like, X-Force and all these different books coming out, like Jean Grey, Phoenix. So you can almost, like, put names in a hat and just, like, okay, we need 6 characters for this team or whatever. And at this point, I mean, like, I'm willing to give you a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but they're reading a lot like caricatures. They're reading very 2D in some aspects. And I don't know. I mean, it just feels like, I don't know, like you're playing dolls just in a different dollhouse. I don't know, with the same dolls in a different dollhouse in a way. I don't know. What can I say? Oh, see, like, I think the coloring is very adept and works very well in a lot, but sometimes I am not down for these, like, over effect, like, I think it like takes away from the detailed line work of the art. You know, I feel like it's rare to have somebody penciling and being inked by someone else. So it's like you want to show off that great art in all its glory. I'm like back and forth on Juggernaut here, like just because he looks so cool in certain panels, just like well drawn. Um, and speaking of like things that have run their course, like I feel like one of my problems with the Marvel movies is like everyone's so powerful, everyone knows their powers perfectly, and we're sort of at that point here. You know, maybe we'll see it more with some of the newer students, like learning their powers and stuff. Um, but it just feels like everything's like everyone's too cool for school. You know, he's Cyclops, like he's unbeatable, unmatchable. You know, he just like he can do no wrong. I do love. I think I love the new concept. This looks so costume looks so hard to draw. So hard to draw, doesn't it? Um, so props for that. I do kind of love like once again like the pastiche or the hodgepodge of not only the different styles, but also the different sort of fashions and eras. You know, I kind of like the squareness of the visor happening and like the detailing and kind of molding. I think this is a great way to do what I feel like they're so guilty of in superhero movies, like how there's sort of like foam musculature, which just is like kind of silly. Like either you have muscles or you don't. So this is a way to like fit the costume to his body and show off the muscles in a way that is just I don't know. It just looks really great. Great design. Love the like the cuffs on the glove. Love the what do you call it? The pouches. My God. So this Alaskan town, this like there are a lot of interesting story elements too. There was an old Sentinel factory where they built Sentinels, and when it was destroyed by the Avengers, it put a lot of the local townspeople out of work. So that's like a very interesting angle. You know what I mean? It's like we all think we're so right and righteous, but you know, some people are just trying to pay the bills or whatever. Do we have a romance being established between this Alaskan cop and Hank Pym? I feel like he's pushing for that agenda, and she like isn't not interested by any stretch of the imagination. You know, she has like the strong reaction to the physicality. See, and this also shows like how like uh removed I am from the X-Men lore of today. Like this term heteromorphic or something. Like what the hell is that? I don't know. But anyway, like Beast looks really cool in certain times, you know. I'm kind of glad he's not that like cat beast kind of thing that we had in the what do you call it? You know, like Grant Morrison's run with the second evolution of their powers and stuff. So I guess we have Emma coming. Probably not in this one. I think in the Gail Simone written book, maybe. I don't know. You know, it's interesting because speaking of Tom Baroverud as the new editor, you know, Claremont just came out with his Wolverine Deep Cut book, which is like a retro flashback book, and you know, has gone on record as saying that Claremont probably won't write a modern X-Men book because it's just so different from his X-Men, and he wrote the X-Men 30 years ago, and you know, like reading this, like Claremont would have zero interest in reading this, you know what I mean? Like this feels like a version of his Psylocke, but not really, you know what I mean? And also, like when I talk about how they're like too cool for school or whatever, like they show up to rescue Wolverine, but just the sight of Psylocke is enough. Everyone knows that she's the badass, and they rescue him off panel in the next couple of pages. So I don't know. And also, I take issue with this Quentin Quire being on the team. Like, I know everyone went ape shit for him during, like, Grant Morrison's run and all that, but I feel like, wasn't he the one who led a riot against Xavier's, against the school, and ultimately, like, was, like, such a villain? Like, a seemingly irredeemable villain, and here he is, cracking wise about the kick he used to do and his mind not be so sharp, and hey, Professor M, and all this stuff. I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of bizarre to me, but what can I say? Some of the Sentinel action happening as well. See, here comes Wolverine. Y'all totally saved him off page. No big deal, whatever. Magic sword. Do people think that looks cool? It looks so weird. Like, it's just so big and weird. And then there's this, like, storyline with these AIM ripoffs. They just look like AIM agents with, like, different colored costumes and, like, an X on their forehead. But, like, there's some... They thought they were, like, New Mutants. But there's this, like, huge, like, underlying storyline about how mutants are born at puberty and these mutants are old and they just got their mutant powers. So how did that happen? Like, this is part of the mystery. Magneto. I don't know how I feel about this version of Magneto. Like, he goes by Max. He has a floating throne, which is bizarre. I don't know if he's trying to be like hip hop or gangster or like inside the actor's studio, like with this get up. He's got like a blazer, purple blazer, a corsage, his helmet, a turtleneck, like a a knit cable turtleneck. Oh my gosh, hilarious. Maybe it's like this is the new Onslaught. Like it's a. Anyway, I don't know. These are my children. I don't know. This whole vibe, the whole tone, is just like so far removed from what I love about the X-Men. But there's an audience for this. Don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like I'm gonna give it a try. You know what I mean? Maybe I can get into it. I don't know. I feel like X-Men 97 is so much better, and I just wish it were at least like close to that. I don't know. Like, this is fun art. See what I mean about the like fun cartoony aspect kicks in there sometimes. Yeah, I'm seeing like a lot of Joe Mad, like especially with the bottom of that foot in there. All welcome influences, Ryan Stegman. And then Wolverine is like, Wolverine feels like I feel you can't go home again, and maybe sometimes you shouldn't. But I'm still gonna hang in there and read it. Darn it, for $6 for this. I guess it's worth it. Big issue. Congratulations to Ryan Stegman. I feel like this is like a huge book for him. I'm on the fence about Jed MacKay's writing. Like, I don't know where, like, see what I mean about the, like, the weird, like, it almost looks like, I don't know, like, weird 70s chest hair or something. I don't know what's happening. Very cool last page. Like, I don't know, for some reason they have this sentinel looming over the city. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous last page. That is like a beautiful page to end on. Okay, I'm coming back next issue. I don't know, y'all. What do you think? Like, I'm so on the fence. Beautiful art. Lots of fun concepts. Like, and I'm very intrigued. Hopefully the characters will develop a little more. I'd like to see Magic and Juggernaut, you know, go beyond the caricature of what is presented here. And I don't know. I don't feel like it's my cup of tea or my X-Men per se. I'm not 100% the audience. But win me over, okay? I'll be back for issue 2. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you love X-Men #1, From the Ashes, A New Beginning by Jed MacKay and Ryan Stegman, or not? Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I'll bring you more soon.